Henson banks it home.
What's up, Blazers Breakdown? Welcome back here. This is going to be my game review of how this Portland Trailblazers did against the Golden State Warriors. As you just saw from the clip I showed you, Hanson Yang hit a three. So what an exciting time, and really what an exciting win here. As you see, our Portland Trailblazers won 106-73. Really a blowout game there. Kind of got close in the second quarter, but really after that, it was just dominance from our team. And I'm really excited about how we played. There's a lot of things to look forward to. So I kind of want to get into the box scores and really break it down. First off, Ryan Rupert, he had 23 tonight. Now, he was a free throw merchant, but, I liked how he was attacking. Hit 2 of 3 from threes. In my earlier video, I talked about how it was important that he became a better three-point shooter, and I think he did that. I did show that well today. I thought he shot the ball well. And, I think some fouls on him were a little ticky-tack. I don't know if they'll be called, but overall, I thought he played really good. Another person who caught my eye was Sidy Cissoko. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Cissoko. Sidy Cissoko, I think he played really well. As soon as the tip started, Hanson Yang gets the ball, dime, and just a massive dunk there by Sidy. I thought he looked electric. I thought his defense was really good. And I think overall, he just kind of looked explosive. He was fun to watch, especially for, the Summer League. He had 8 points, 4 for 7 from the field. Didn't hit any threes, 0 for 2. But I thought his defensive presence, as well as kind of his explosiveness on the offensive side, was really fun to watch. Next, we'll get into Caleb Love. And I think there were some highs and some lows for him, obviously, as there will be for the rest of the Summer League. First off, I thought he shot well. 4 for 7 from 3, beautiful. 7 for 16 from the field. And one thing I talked about in my last video is I wanted to see his defensive pressure and how he would be as a defender, at this level. And I thought he defended well. I know he was, put up against, full court for most of the game, or three quarters, and I thought he did well. I thought he had some good defensive plays. I thought he was tipping passes. I thought he was kind of all over the place, and that really made me excited here. And I'll show some clips throughout the video here. As you'll see, he kind of just was all over. I thought he shot the ball well, and overall, I thought he really impressed me. I didn't think he was gonna do this good, and the one thing I do have to harp on, and this is still something I know he will need to work on, is sometimes his decision making. I saw him, he took a couple tough mid-range kind of fadeaways. Sometimes it seemed like he was a little rushed. How many turnovers? Only 2 turnovers tonight. So I thought that went well. I think he passed the ball, not too bad. He had one pass that kind of just was a little bit behind where I think Ryan Rupert it was. But sometimes it seemed like he was a little rushed. So if he can just slow down a little bit and keep getting to his spots, I mean, he really showed off, a high level of basketball, and I was really impressed, especially on the defensive side. Now, I know this Golden State team doesn't have anyone too crazy, that's high upside. I mean, they have some guys, right? I know Marquise Bolden is a guy that they're high about. They have some guys for sure, but not as much as this Blazers team, obviously. Next, we can get into Hanson Yang. Just really put a smile on my face. I thought his defense was incredible. He had 4 rebounds, 5 assists, some great, 1 steal and 3 blocks. I mean, this is what Portland's asking for. I know that we have DC down there, and I do think Donovan Clingan will be a better defender down there. I think his wingspan's a little bit longer, but I really liked how Hanson Yang never gave up on a play. His reaction time was really good. You see him on the other side of the block, and then he's, there's a guy backdooring or something. He's able to swim move a guy and get the block. I thought that was just really impressive to see him kind of navigate the court. I think he fit in well. I loved, the kind of the delayed kind of offense we run through him, where he's trailing, he gets the ball at the top, and he's just looking, and he's just making great passes. I love the way he passed the ball. He obviously hit a 3. 3 for 7 from the field. I think that will get cleaned up a little bit. I think he was rushed on some shots. I know he got a pass and then kind of missed a little reverse layup there, or same side reverse. And then I know he had a nice Euro step and then kind of just couldn't get it to the left hand for an easy layup. Instead, he shot a kind of a right-handed floater that missed. But overall, I thought he played really well. I think he impressed me. I loved how many minutes, 24 minutes. I know he was winded, gasping for air at the end, but I loved how he worked, throughout. And defensively, I thought he played well. I do think there will be some times where NBA guards are going to blow by him, especially I feel like sometimes he was kind of sagging too far off of screens. He was kind of dipping, and maybe that's what they're teaching him right now. But, there will be times where he's going to need to step up, and I will like to see how he plays, on the perimeter. But my favorite thing about Hanson Yang in this game, and something I showed, was he didn't let anyone bully him. He was contact, contact, contact. I'll show a clip right here where this guy, obviously you see, he bumps into Hanson Yang, and Hanson Yang just goes in. He's not stopping. He is just, they're hitting each other. And I think this just shows that he's not willing to get bullied. He's going to be physical. And that was something, as a 20-year-old, 20-year-old big man, you don't see very often, especially if, he has such a big stature. For him to just be physical and just not back down, and he's smiling all over the court. It was really fun to watch. Overall, though, I think this team was really fun just in general. I loved, they had an interview with Chauncey, and they're like, it's like a track team out here. And I totally agree. Their speed, the way they moved. Sometimes it did get sloppy, but I feel like it flustered Golden State. And so it was super fun to watch, how fast they were moving, and, they were passing the ball up the court. So overall, I think this was a really strong start. I'm excited to see them play Memphis tomorrow. So back to back, I'll be excited to see kind of what they do with Yang's minutes, what they do with Caleb Love's minutes. I assume that they'll get, still a decent amount of run, but it was just really fun to see, Blazers basketball back again. And overall, I think this team played well. I think my star for today's game is going to probably still be Caleb Love. I thought he shot the ball well. I thought he played really great defense. Overall, I think he was really a great star. And I think there's, City was great. And I think really, Hanson Yang really impressed. I do think there's some finishing stuff he needs to work on. And I wanted to see him maybe get a couple more low touches. I thought he was getting the ball at the top a lot, which is great. He's a great passer. And especially when he's passing to guys like Shaedon Sharpe and, these guys who can really fly above the rim and cut fast. I think it's going to be great. But I would like to see him get some, the ball in the low post and see how he can pass through there too. I think that's an opportunity for a lot of back doors and stuff. And so, just a couple of more of those. But overall, I think this game was coached well. I think everything went great. Obviously, I liked how he hit 3 or 4 free throws, as you see. 5 assists, that's awesome. So this was an overall, I think if I had to if I was just realistic about how good this team was going to be, these young guys, and I wasn't being like, Hanson, I want Hanson to drop 30 and Caleb Love to drop 30. This is exactly how I'd want it to go. I mean, they just, I thought they played really well. I think they all just kind of did good. 10 points for Hanson, 23 points for Ryan Rupert, 18 points for Caleb Love. That's great. And I think defensively they played really well too, obviously holding a team to 73 points. I know it is only 10-minute quarters, but I do really like overall how they performed. I want your guys' thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think of this Trailblazers team as we shot 48% from the field and 41% from the three-point line today. And let me know what you guys think. And make sure to like and subscribe. I'll be back here for tomorrow's night's game, so giving another kind of breakdown. Hopefully we can see some more good stuff from our Portland Trailblazers. And yeah, peace.